Jabas was a young man of but 23 when he realized that he needed to get himself a job, some job for which he could not do. For he was, after all, the third son and did not inherit any of the land. Thanks, Dad. So he came before his ruler of his land, the great Sultan, and he bowed low and begged of him, "Is there not some job for which I could not do for you? Is there not some work of which I would surely not do?" And the Sultan looked at him and went, "Oh, here is a strong, 6-foot-something, muscled young man. I shall make him a guard of my gate, and he shall keep out the robbers, the brigands, the thieves, all of you, and possibly more people, no, not you, who would break in and take his stuff, take his diamonds, the size of this beautiful woman's head, take the rubies that were the size of the table, take, so many things, his tapestries, his fine goods. No, he would guard the gate and keep it safe." And so Jabas did for many a week. But it was the summer months that came upon them. And the summer months in this land are very, very warm. Very, very, very warm. And so it is that the Sultan was in a habit of taking his entire court and going to the cooler climes of his great, great kingdom. And before he left, he said, "Jabas, I charge you now, keep my gate always in your sight. Never let my gate out of your sight." And Jabas bowed low and said, "Of course, your majesty, I shall always keep your gate in my sight." Now, it just so happened that it was also the festival time down in the valley below. And Jabas had never missed a festival. He had always gone dancing, singing, and storytelling, and doing other things which perhaps are best left unsaid. And he knew that he was missed. But he had promised, and a promise is a promise, he promised to keep his eye on the gate. Yeah, you saw what's coming. So he took the gate off the hinges. He took it with him. He took it dancing. He took it singing. He took it storytelling. He took it doing other things, which again, perhaps are best left unsaid, but the women were quite perplexed. What is the gate doing next to the bed? It's a promise. I made a promise. Well, as you might guess, the robbers, the brigands, the thieves, and I think someone who looked a little like you, came in and took the tapestries, the diamonds, larger than this beautiful woman's head, and everything that wasn't nailed down, and if it could be pried up, it wasn't nailed down, and trust me, they took it all. Well, it just so happens that the Sultan came back and saw. He saw what had happened, and I have heard it said from some that were there, and so I know this is true, that first his face went red, and then white, and then purple, and the veins burst upon his neck as blood ran down his shoulders, for who, coming up, walking up the hill, carrying the gate, was a very drunk Jabas. Jabas! Did I not tell you to guard my gate? I did. I took it everywhere. Singing, storytelling, other things. Best. Oh, I'm in trouble. Well, the Sultan commanded his guards to take Jabas from him and whip him till not a bit of skin remained upon his body. And so they grabbed Jabas, because the Sultan was really mad, and they ran off as fast as they could. But it was late in the evening. They had yet to have their evening meal. They were tired from the journey, and so they decided that they would bury Jabas up to his neck in the sand. For from surely such a prison no man could escape. Well, I do not know about you, good gentles all. I have never been buried up to my neck in the sand. So, I am sure, though, it was a very sobering experience, as Jabas did find it to be. And who should come along but a camel merchant with 6 fine camels? And he said, "What are you doing buried in the sand?" "Well, you see, I have a bad back, and this is the cure of it. Really, I too have a bad back. Oh, I could use such a cure. Well, my back is pretty much better now. what would you give for the cure? Well, I would give you much. Would you give me half your camels? Of course. Well, so if you dig me out, I will put you in. And so it was done. And Jabas took but 3 camels, for he was an honest man. Okay, mostly. Now, the next day, the guards who did not know Jabas well were whipping and whipping, and the guy kept going, hold, stop, my back is straight enough. They brought him before the Sultan, who had burned the memory of Jabas's face into his mind. And upon getting the story, his face went red, and then white, and then purple, and again the face burst into second, and blood ran down his shoulders, and he screamed, Jabas! Very well, let my proclamation go throughout the land. He must appear upon a 4th night, neither walking nor riding, neither clothed nor naked, or his head shall be forfeited, he shall be dead. Now, the 4th night passed. A great crowd had assembled, as great crowds are wont to assemble when they think they're going to see bloodshed. We were all there, let's just admit it. And who should come in? With 1 foot in a stirrup, dressed only in a fishnet, and thus he was neither walking nor riding, and neither clothed nor naked. Again, the Sultan screamed. Again, his face went red, and then white, and then purple as the veins burst upon his neck. He said, Very well, Jabas. You've tricked me again. But know this. Get ye hence. I never wish to set eyes upon your face again. Or your head shall be forfeited, and you shall be dead. Well, many months passed. The Sultan was riding in to the marketplace. He was happy. He had many fine things again. Diamonds 10 times the size of this beautiful woman's head. Rubies and emeralds. Fine tapestries. Taxes had been raised. That was a coincidence.
Sure.
And I do not know how it is in your lands. But in my land, when the Sultan, our great ruler, the king, does come riding in to the marketplace, all do turn to him and bow low, as respect, and all did, except for one man who quite rudely turned his back on him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you haven't guessed who this is, you haven't been paying attention. Grab that man! How dare he turn his back on me? And sure enough, it was Jabas. Axemen, ready your axe, for I shall have your head. Did I not say I never wish to set eyes upon your face again? And how dare you turn your back on me? Oh, most gracious son of Allah, stay your righteous wrath, which Allah in his infinite mercy be avenged upon you. For I did but as you commanded. You said you never wished to set eyes upon my face again. And so when I saw you coming into the marketplace, I quickly turned my back so you would not see my face. Well, needless to say, the Sultan's face went red. It went white. It went purple. And the veins burst upon his neck as his blood ran down his shoulders. And he screamed, Ah! Jabas, I banish you! Never set foot upon my land again! Now, Jabas, being no fool, was quickly gone. So, many more months had passed. The Sultan was riding with a beautiful princess that he was much in love with. And they had just had a wonderful day of hunting, and it was so beautiful a day, but he was saddened as he turned to her and said, Oh, most gracious, beautiful woman that I love, that I must mar this day with a beheading. For coming, walking up towards him was Jabas. Jabas! How dare you ruin my day with your own death? How dare you ruin my day with your beheading when I told you plainly that I never wish you to set foot upon my land again? Did I not say so? Oh, most gracious son of Allah, most blessed of all of us, you who rule with wisdom and power, stay thy righteous wrath, lest Allah in his mercy be avenged upon you. For surely you should know that I have never trod upon your land again. For once you told me so, I have traveled to far-off Egypt's land, and there I filled my boots with Egypt's sand. and thus I never trod upon your land again. Well, say it with me. His face went red, and then white, and then purple. But then he calmed down. He thought to himself, "Thrice does this man tricked me. Better to have him on my side." And so he was made one of the advisors. And I know that this story is true, because he grew to become the greatest advisor to all the sultans that would come for many a year. And I know, again, that this story is true, for from his lips to my ears to thine, I do now it relay.
Really well told.